It's Week 7 of the NFL. And featured this week is C.J. Mosley, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game. It's the Jets and the Broncos coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
And off we go from Denver. Taking it about the 1. Time for our first look at the Denver offense. And, of course, the new face of the Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler while in Seattle, Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. This is Gordon on the dump off. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. This defense for the Jets, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, 2nd overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
They run with his 2nd-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there.
Still second down.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Wilson. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
One of the toughest things about playing quarterback is staying in the pocket, all that going on around you, and not letting your eyes go down to where the pass rush is. Instead, keeping them downfield. And that time he did and found his tight end for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 31.
Hall ought to give up the middle.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Jets at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. They have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner. And that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
They'll run with Hall.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
One more time with Hall.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Garrett Wilson.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now Wilson.
Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
Throwing is Wilson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and
4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Again, Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Jets taking over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up.
Now it's Wilson.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Now Wilson. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
A kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Bears and Patriots from Foxborough, a rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears won that one 46-10. But fear not for the Patriots, if I remember correctly. Well, they've won a few in the years following.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Wilson.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
Here's Berrios.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And the Jets will take over. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Mike Purcell busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin the drive with Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Ahmad Gardner got downhill quickly and stuck him behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Wilson back into his end zone. Buying time to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to be a call to the punt team on 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Dances by him. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Jets now to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
On the draw, it's Hall.
Mike Purcell with the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown.
Greg Zerline to kick off for the Jets.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Judy. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Out to his left.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. He's got a man, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Brate has it over the middle.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started out west in Las Vegas. And those two are tied up as they play the 2nd quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game.
and they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, let's get over to Inglewood, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at SoFi Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith has thrown a touchdown pass. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jets. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here's Hall again.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
82 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Give to Hall running right.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Wilson's throw complete there to Berrios.
And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, first down.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. A handoff for Hall.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now the second-year man from Carolina, this is Michael Carter.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
They'll look to run with Hall.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Breece Hall with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was finished off by the rookie Breece Hall.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And here comes Berrios. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over first and 10. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, that started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be first and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 13. Wilson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Breaks their line to kick off for the Jets.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Wilson to throw. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick.
Wilson's pass complete to Tim Patrick. Brings up.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hall again on 2nd down.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
They go play action now. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Jets add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the fourth quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And now here is another interception. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
They'll run here with Hall.
Stops short of the 25.
125 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, a run with Hall.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Touchdown!
Breece Hall
from 13 yards out.
And the Jets are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season, is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
To throw is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard. At the 45.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get. It out.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, a run with Carter.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
They'll go again with Carter.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
A give up the middle to Carter.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributed.